Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's AJ here, and joining us today is Sophie Byrne, the Business Agility Lead of Microsoft Solutions at Microsoft and the creator of Humans of LinkedIn. Sophie, thank you for joining us today. So we're here today to learn more about you, Sophie, and of course your new project, Humans of LinkedIn. But before we get into Humans of LinkedIn, which I'll link down below for everybody that is watching, can you give us a bit of an introduction to yourself and what you do at Microsoft?
So I am an Aussie who relocated to Seattle about a year ago. We relocated during the pandemic, so as much time as you have, I can tell you all about that experience. But have been with Microsoft for about 11 years, so 10 years in the Australian subsidiary doing a bunch of different roles, very random and varied roles. And now I'm into my first year, actually just started my second year at corporate headquarters, and my job is really about making sure that there's good proximity between the field and corporate so that the programs that we're building are grounded in reality and don't come as a surprise. So it's a good job at Corp in that it has a lot of time with the field. Not a lot of jobs have that at corporate. You can kind of find yourself spending 24/7 talking about Microsoft and thinking about Microsoft, but this role still has a bunch of customer and a bunch of field focus, which I'm enjoying.
And what would your advice be to someone that wants to go and work at one of these companies?
You know, even if you come from a technical background, you are still constantly learning, and so kind of levels the playing field, and so don't feel like you're excluded from progressing in tech if you come from some weird and wonderful trainings and backgrounds, or if you don't have training at all. That's kind of a big thing about Humans of LinkedIn, is trying to access people who are skilled through alternative routes, that we don't have to be looking at computer science college degree owners. There's a lot of merit that can be added from a lot of demographics. So, technology is a great leveler. I would say just give it a crack if it's something that's of interest. No one's excluded from having a great and successful career in technology.
Yeah, cool. That is awesome advice. And I think you're right that because it changes at such a rapid speed, what you may have previously studied, you still have to keep upskilling, and if you come from a different area, you'll bring a different perspective into a tech career. But you did mention Humans of LinkedIn, and that's actually a perfect segue to start talking about your project, Humans of LinkedIn. So I've watched all of your videos, and I think you've got some great people on there. I have. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, what's this? I clicked on it, and you had Pip Marlow on there, who's the CEO of Salesforce ANZ and
She's
previous
amazing.
GM of Microsoft. Is that correct?
Yeah, she was the head of Microsoft in Australia when I joined, back when I was 12 years old. And yeah, now she went off into Suncorp, so into the banking industry actually, after she left Microsoft, but has boomeranged back to technology at Salesforce. She's a wonderful human being.
So what would the viewers expect when they tune into Humans of LinkedIn?
I've had the privilege of having access to these, very senior leaders. And the thing that's apparent to me is that we deify these people. We treat them as if they're godlike. And when we do that, we tend to ignore their shadow, unlike the way that we see ourselves. When we see ourselves, we see the version that we project, on social media and the corporate headshot where we look really smart, and, but we also know our own shadows, our self-doubts, and what goes on in the background. And so I want to show their shadows as well, and show who these leaders really are, so that more of us are left kind of feeling like, they're just like me, and I could be them. And so, so hopefully we have a bigger pool of people feeling like anything is possible in their career. So it's really just me shooting the shit with some very, intimidatingly successful people.
What was the motivation to really kick off the channel now? Because I know starting a project, a lot of people have these ideas, but they never act on them. What was your motivation to say, all right, I'm going to start this, and I'm going to really take this idea and run with it?
I took a holiday. I think that was it. Honestly, I had been so exhausted for so long because of 2020 being what it was. And I made it to the US. And soon after I did that, you know, we did the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We got that sorted out. Like we got a home and we started sleeping through the night. And then we took a 2-week vacation and really stepped away from everything related to Microsoft and from my day job. And that's when kind of creative thinking happened. And so it all just kind of just went there, you know, in my head, and I just put it all down on paper. And I'm someone who's, I very much value speed to market. Patience is not my strength. And so I just kind of, as soon as I had the vision, I just kind of executed upon it, reached out to Pip and a couple of other of the executives and started to build my pipeline. And, you know, lo and behold, and this is a lesson I definitely learned early in my career, and I would pay forward to others as well, is, you know, be careful what you wish for and what you ask for, because people may well say yes. So then they started accepting, and I was like, oh shit, like we better go then. So, and now it's, you know, now it's a thing.
And you've had some great people on there. Can you give us, I guess, any a snapshot of any possible upcoming guests that you may have for some of the next episodes?
Yes, actually, just this morning I got an email which made my day. I'd been trying to get this guy for a little while. I'm really trying to find leaders from across industries and across markets. I've got a deep network in Australia, but I don't have a deep network yet in the US. I'm working to build that. And similarly, I have a deep network within Microsoft, but I don't want it to be the Microsoft show either. So This guy's going to be very different. He's a very senior doctor and clinician within the NHS in the UK. So Dr. Tony Young is his name, if you want to look him up, anyone. And I'm really excited to interview him for you guys.
Awesome. Well, I've subscribed. I've got the notifications on, as should everybody else that is watching. Make sure you go and subscribe to Humans of LinkedIn to see Dr. Tony Young and the other amazing guests that Sophie's going to have on. Where would you want to see it grow in the next couple of years? I love the fact that you said you have these great connections within Microsoft and the tech space, but you don't want it to be the Microsoft show. So in a few years' time, where would you want Humans of LinkedIn to have gone?
You know, I have a much bigger vision for an accessible take on talent. This is a passion area that's coming out in a creative treatment that is Humans of LinkedIn, but the way that I would like to contribute to, you know, equitable opportunities for talent are much more comprehensive. And I think just getting more and more interesting and diverse leaders on board, showing more and more humility, and getting it out on more and more platforms. I'd love to see it kind of as a segment on the Wall Street Journal or something like that. You know, I feel like I've been getting such good feedback about how it's just not businessy, but yet it is business. So I think it fills a gap. I'm excited to see where it goes.
And last question on Humans of LinkedIn. Aside from the link down below, where can the viewers find and access Humans of LinkedIn?
It's on YouTube for now. So, you know, I'm very impressed by your aptitude for social media. I do not share that aptitude. I love the conversations, but I'm not very I'm a late adopter. Let's just say that. So you'll find it as a channel, Humans of LinkedIn on YouTube. As I learn more, we might see it in other platforms as well.
Awesome. Well, for those that are interested, it will be on YouTube. Just type in Humans of LinkedIn and it'll be the first thing that pops up. Cool. And Sophie, one thing that I did actually see in all your videos is you have this thing called the Fast Five.
Oh, yes.
So I feel like it is time to ask you the Fast Five that I have prepared.
Uh-oh.
What is one of your pump up jams, you know, whether it's a song or an album that gets you excited and ready to take on the world?
Oh, that's a good question. Listen, I don't listen to a lot of artists, single artists on repeat, but I listen to playlists. I hit playlists really hard, and I collaborate with friends on playlists to kind of hear what they're listening to, and me too. So I got a couple of playlists on high rotation that I use to get pumped up, but no specific artist.
If you could give a piece of advice to your younger self, what would that advice be?
Be brave.
Be brave. I like that. Short, sweet, simple. What is one of the most embarrassing things you've ever done, and what have you learned from it? Feel free to keep this one professional.
Well, I'll give you one that's like professional and not. Is I was giving a keynote address. A partner of Microsoft's invited me to join and present their technology keynote at a large event that they were running for their customers. And I was talking about this wearable technology on cows that our partner Fujitsu,
on cows.
Yeah, it was like a Fitbit for cows that helped helped manage more efficiently the artificial insemination that industry was running. And as I was talking about artificial insemination, I did this like hand gesture by accident that ended up being really crude. And as I was doing it, I noticed and I stopped. And of course, with the microphone, I said, "Oh my God, I'm really sorry for my hand." And everyone just laughed, and we kind of couldn't get it back from there. And it's all on video, it's on the internet, and it was very funny. But well, I'm sure if you look hard enough, you'll find it.
What has been your favorite purchase during lockdown?
Do you know what? It's very funny that you ask me that now, because literally I just got back from the gym about an hour ago and there was a package on the front step from me, my correct name and my correct address, from a designer that I like, but with an item of clothing I didn't buy. And it's, you know, it's a $200 US item of clothing that I think they sent to me by accident. And I'm thinking, sweet. I should probably do the right thing and let them know and return it. But I think that'll be my favorite, is like the free stuff.
Last but not least, final question. If you were to create a slogan for your life, what would the slogan be?
I'll give you another short one. It would just be, why not? You know, that's my motto in life, is like, fear is not a good enough reason not to take an opportunity. Suck it up, be brave and go for it.
Yeah, love it. Count down from 5 and then just take off. So, Sophie, thank you for joining us today and talking to us about the humans of LinkedIn. If you are interested in following Sophie and her journey on humans of LinkedIn, check it out. I'll link it down below for everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.